I have a little bit of time to talk to you guys about something that I learned way back in the day, actually here, that I thought was really, really important, and I figured I'd share it with you. But it's actually not really about me, it's more about you. So if you wouldn't mind, I'm going to ask you a couple questions, and when I ask you a question, I'm just trying to kind of recognize some of the leaders in the audience. So if you wouldn't mind doing me the favor of standing up and staying standing until I ask you to sit back down, that would be awesome. Do you, wait, not now, when I ask my questions. You guys ready? If you have a GPA of 4.0 or higher, would you mind standing up, please? So, I know, right? It's so cool. But I won't ever make a habit of talking over you, because that would be me disrespecting you. And I don't want to disrespect any of these people, because they have been working hard. These are some of the smartest people in America. If you're sitting in this room and you have those grades, you are going to be world changer, folks. World changers. You see a problem, you know the solution in your head, you've got like 5 different ways to fix it, and you go at that problem. You are some of my favorite people, and I love you for the brain you have and the way you are going to change the world. Can you guys give these guys a hand, please? Awesome. Grab a seat. People already leading. What about my varsity athletes in the room? Who are you? You guys, I mean, are you kidding? You're leaders in band and you look like him? That's ridiculous. You guys know what it's like to take countless hours from your time, from the things that other people do. Watching TV, you don't have time for that. Surfing YouTube, you don't have time for that. I gotta hit the gym, baby. I gotta work. I gotta be ready so that when my body is ready for that competitive event, I am 100% ready to go. You guys, that's why you're so good at marching band, right? These guys are going to be leaders because they have self-discipline, and that is a commodity that is rare to have these days. Can you guys give these guys a hand, please? Good for y'all. Grab a seat. All right, now for everybody standing up. Who's first chair in their section in this room, please? Can you just stand up? Yeah, it's always like, woo! Guys. You're the natural leaders of our activity. Of course you're in leadership camp. You've got the musicianship and the skills. Not only did you have talent, not only did the music make sense to you, but you practiced your butt off day after day to get so good that there was no impediment between this instrument, the voice that you have to say, and the music that you share to us. You guys do such amazing things, sharing your passion through whatever you do with this, well, maybe not with this. I'm a saxophonist, it's okay, I'm just kidding. You guys make music that changes souls. Can you guys give these guys a hand, please? Grab a seat. And lastly but not leastly, let's not forget the people who don't only give back to this activity. Can you guys stand up if you give back to your community through community service activities? Because that's huge, guys. This world doesn't have enough of you. Oh, it's the whole room. Okay, great. Guys, you're already embodying what we teach at this camp. You already look outside yourself and see the problems in the world and know that's not somebody else's responsibility and that's not somebody else's fault. I'm going headlong into fixing those problems that I see in the world. You are incredible and selfless and loving. And frankly, I wish I was more like you. Can you guys give these guys a hand, please? All right. Okay. So as much as I do actually want to get to know you, can I tell you the truth? No. I lied to you. I did, I know, I shouldn't do that. I surely shouldn't admit to it. But the idea of this isn't actually to get to know the people that stood up or anything about the people in the room. there's somebody that we got to meet in this room that, sometimes when you ask people to stand up and clap for them, it kind of comes to light. Over the course of those standing up, did anybody have a little voice pop up in the back of their head that's like, man, I don't really have time to get a 4.0. I practice all the time. My band director keeps me constantly at the school. I mean, I'm really glad these guys are smart, but I work really hard for my B's, and I'm really proud of that. Or, like, varsity athletes, some of those varsity athletes are jerks to me. I don't have time for none of that nonsense. I'm just going to hang out in the band room where it's safe, or the orchestra room where it's safe. I love those people. I can't have time for this nonsense. Or what about the people that are like, well, I've been trying to be first chair, but man, this doesn't come easy to me. You don't know how many hours I practice, how many people I talk to, how many scales I play. I just can't seem to make it all the way to the top because that kid has been a first chair since he was a freshman. He's going to be first chair till I'm dead. You guys know what I'm talking about? Raise your hand if you felt that sometime tonight. Yeah, guys, that's the point of this. We got to talk about the hidden audience in the room. That hidden audience of ego. We call it a lot of different things, but guys, that's the number one thing that's going to hold you back in life, is that little voice in your head that drowns out the thing around you. The ego, according to Sigmund Freud, which, mind you, you don't have to subscribe to all the things he says. There's some crazy stuff if you've studied him. But he did subscribe to a 3-part consciousness that we talk about. And it actually didn't start with the ego, that little voice in the back of your head. It actually started with the id, way back when you were like 2 years old. You didn't really have that thought process going on like we know it today. You just said, my sister has a cupcake. That cupcake looks good. And your id said, take it. And you said, sounds like a good idea. And you grabbed it and you ate it and you loved it. And then, eventually in time, you started to get your hand smacked enough or your butt smacked enough or you got enough timeouts that you realized, well, you just can't take what you want every day. That doesn't work out. So your brain evolved a little bit and it developed the ego. And when you were in high school and somebody had a cupcake sitting there next to you, you were like, oh man, I really want that cupcake. But I know I'm going to get in trouble if I try to take that cupcake and eat it. You know what I'm talking about? It's like, that's not going to work. So your friend got up and left, and you were like, now seems like a good time to take a cupcake. So you grab the cupcake, and he comes back, and he's like, where'd my cupcake go? And you're like, dog, I don't know. I got no clue. Because the ego in the back of your head said, now it's not going to be acceptable just for you to take it. You need to take it, you need to make up a story so that you can have social standing and get what you want. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's where a lot of us live. Have you guys ever thought, man, what are you talking about? That voice in the back of the head is me. Like, that's telling me what to do all the time. Isn't that me? And, it's part of you. It's definitely part of you. It's a real part of you. And it's the part that holds you back. Nod your head if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, it's the part that holds us back. Luckily, it doesn't stop there. We've got this thing called superego. And I know, what a boring name, right? It's like superego. It's like you're going to come up with something better than that? Come on, Freud. Superego. And guys, that is up here. That's right here. That's what says when you want to take that cupcake, no, that's not right. I'm not going to take that cupcake because that's not mine. It's not what I do. It's not what I am. You with me? Yeah. But guys, I gotta be honest with you. This evolves latest. This is controlling, and it is debilitating, and it will hold you back from relationships. It will hold you back from success. It will hold you back from all the things that you crave in life because it tells you, you are the most important. You are the only thing that matters. It's a self-preservation mechanism. And guys, being honest with you, if you don't know that that's not the whole story, that thing will control you for the rest of your life. If you think that's the only part of you, you're toast. And when I was sitting down trying to figure out how I wanted to talk to you guys about this, I was like, well, how do I prepare them to deal with that? Raise your hand if you didn't even realize that that was happening, that was a part of you. I just thought that was me. I didn't know it was just part of me. So many people in the world just follow whatever this voice says. But you don't have to. You just need to know a couple of things. You need to know when that voice is going to pop up. That's first. And I'll tell you the most prominent part that's going to pop up when somebody else is getting attention that you are not getting. When someone else is getting recognition that you are not getting. That's what the voice in the back of your head that popped up when I had everybody else stand up. We call that pride. And man, those guys worked so hard to get all the things they did. And you as leaders know those guys are going to give back to the world tenfold what they took from the world. But that little voice in your head was only trying to protect who? Yeah. It's always going to pop up when somebody else is getting the attention that your brain wants. It's also going to pop up when you get criticized or critiqued. You know that voice real well. Your band director's like, hey, can you make that note shorter? And you're like, it doesn't say staccato on the page. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you're critiqued, your defensiveness pops up. Your defensiveness pops up like that because you don't want to be told you're wrong. None of us do. Defensiveness is the second time that voice pops up after pride. And the third one is sneaky. The third one's what you felt when you walked into camp. Even the veterans in the room. It comes up all the time when you're in uncomfortable social situations, is doubt. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? Mm-hmm. When you walked into the building for the first time, probably hit before you got on the bus, got on the plane, maybe even the night before when you were packing, and you're like, I don't know that I can do this. You know that voice real well, don't you? You know what voice has been talking to me for the last hour standing backstage? That one. It doesn't go away. I wish I could tell you that I could have the magic keys to make you a complete control freak over your self-conscious, but I don't. I don't. That voice is going to be with you forever. And I just want to give you a couple tools to be aware and to do something about it so it doesn't control you. The number one is to know when those happen, right? Know when the pride voice hits, when somebody else is getting the attention. The second one is defensiveness, when you're getting critiqued, when you're getting defensive. Number three is doubt. And all you have to do is be aware that that voice is there. That's step two. Know when it's going to happen, and then listen to what it's saying. Be aware that it's not you, that you're a separate component from that voice. Listen to what it says, and then turn it down. That's the third step. It's really easy, but if you don't know that it's only part of you, if you don't know that it's back here, and that this up here can control it, you're toast. You're going to be a slave to this forever. And it's going to hit you 1,000 times this camp, gang. It's going to hit you all over the place. When you doubt yourself in a session, when somebody's controlling and waddling your conducting, and you're waving your arms, and I'm going, you're waving your arms wrong, and you're like, no, I'm not. And when somebody else is getting the attention, when somebody else is at the front of the room, and you wish you had that opportunity, those are going to pop up, guys. Be aware of the causes, hear the voice, and know it is not you. It's just part of you. And then turn it down. Turn it down, ask it to go sit in a corner, and say, yeah, I understand all those things, but I'm going to make the decisions here to be happy for the people around me. I'm going to make the decisions here to do better because I know I can. That's my challenge to you this week, because it's not easy. It's not easy. That voice is going to be with you forever. But, you know, the start of every new adventure is just learning something new. Yeah? Yeah. Cool. I hope that gives you something to think about, and I hope you don't let that voice get in your way too much this weekend. Thank you guys so much for letting me talk to you.